Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayomide. Just in case this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. On this channel, you're going to find DIY sewing tutorials. You would also find pattern drafting tutorials because I work with patterns. In this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing how I made a flare dress with ruffled sleeve. If you've been meaning to learn how to make a flare dress, then this tutorial is for you. Just before we move on, in case you haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly please click on the subscribe button below, and also can also turn on your notifications so you can become notified whenever I upload a new video. Now let us jump straight into this tutorial. Get started, these are the materials I'm going to be working with. I'm using this beautiful floral crepe fabric. It is 2.5 yards. I have some pins here, tailor's chalk, my fabric scissors, measuring tape. I also have my pattern master and my long ruler. I have these basic borders here, and I drafted this out just to make it very easier for us to understand. It is an half scale borders. I have a detailed tutorial on my YouTube channel on how to do this properly, just in case you have no idea on how I came about this. Now I've gone ahead to fold my fabric on the bias. I folded it in form of a triangle. So this is one end of my fabric. Instead of folding it straight up, I just folded it in the form of a triangle like this. Also, the trick about this is that the more you fold across, the wider your garments would be. So I'm not going to be folding my fabric in such a way that this end would meet up with this end, because I don't want it to be too big. I don't want my dress to be too big. So what I did was I just folded it halfway. Okay, I just folded it halfway in form of a bias, but not the complete bias itself. You can see the way the fabric is following. It's in form of a bias. Now what I'll do next is I'm going to be placing my pattern on the folded edge. Before I pin it down, I'll mark my length. The length of the dress I need is 40 inches, so I'll check to be sure that my folded fabric is up to 40. This is not up to 40, so I would fold more. When you're working with a dress that you need to fold on bias, you would be consuming a lot of fabric. This fabric is 2.5 yards. On this pattern, I have added my seam allowance of 1 inch, and I added an extra ease allowance of 0.5 inch. And this is my bust measurement, and here I have my waist measurement. So I'm going to pin this down. From my shoulder points here, I would mark my length of 40 inches. I'll keep marking it all around. Right here is my length. I'm going to pick my long ruler, connect from my bust all the way down, so I can decide to widen it. Okay, but just have it at the back of your mind that the more you widen it, the bigger your dress is going to be. And I don't want mine to be too big, so I'm just going to connect it this way. I'll take a look at it first if I like what I see, or I can adjust it later on. I'm going to be adding seam allowance to the neck area, after which I'll go ahead and cut this out. Then I will use this to cut the back. Guys, I've placed my fabric on fold again. This is the front I just cut out, so I've placed it on my fabric on fold again. I left, this is the one I just cut out, I left 1 inch for zipper allowance because I'm going to be putting a zipper at the back. I just want a very short zip at the back. Now I'm going to be duplicating this out too. The only difference between the front and the back is the zipper at the back, and the neckline I'm going to be cutting out for the front too. Before taking the pattern out from the front, I'm going to be cutting out my front neckline. The front neckline is lower than the back, even though I use the back neckline to cut both the front and the back. So now since I'm done, I want to trim off my front neckline. This is the front, and I'm going to be having 2 pieces for the back, one on either part. I will lay this out properly for us to see. This is my front fabric piece. It's quite wide enough, and I have 2 pieces for the back. Remember, I'm fixing a zipper, that's why I slashed the back into 2. If you don't want a zipper, you could make your neckline deeper and wider so that you can easily wear it if you don't want a zip at the back. The first thing I will do will be to fix my zip. I'm using an invincible zip. It's going to be short, so I'm going to be cutting this zip about 5 inches long. I don't want it too long to the waistline, so I'll just fix it from here to here. That's all. After which I'm going to be joining the gown together at the side. Before going ahead to fix the zipper rather, the first thing I did was to join it along the shoulders, and this because I'm going to be using a bias tape to cover the raw edges. So I've joined it already, and I'm going to be using this bias tape now to sew this all the way down, after which I'll go ahead and then fix my. Here's the outcome of the dress already. I joined it at the sides all the way down. I left some space here so that I can easily fix the sleeve. The sleeve is going to be a ruffled sleeve. Let me show us the zipper at the back. This is the back zipper. It's short, it's about 6 inches long. This is where it is stopping. I made a belt with the same fabric, 5 inches long, folded it into 2, and I stitched it all the way down. I'm going to be putting the belt around the waist area. This is because I want some sort of fitting around the waist area. And I also love the gathered look it's giving the fabric around the waist area. So I could tie the belt to the front, to the side, or even to the back. Now let's move over to the sleeve. In order to fix the sleeve, I have this very long strip of fabric that I have cut out already, and this long strip of fabric is about 55.5 inches long, and the width is about 5 inches. So when I put it on fold, I'm going to be having 2.5 inches on fold. Now for the blouse, remember I said that I left the side open a little bit, but I closed it up, so I have just the armhole left. And what I will do is I'm going to be picking my long strip of fabric. I have secured one end of this strip of fabric. I have covered up the raw edges, so I'm going to be picking that end of the strip, that part where I secured, and I'm going to be placing it by my side seam. I would secure it with a pin first of all, after which I'm going to be creating pleats all around the armhole. This is how I'm going to be creating the sleeve all around the armhole. So I'm just going over to create pleats to make my work easier for me when I'm sewing on the sewing machine. And this is what I'm going to be doing for the other sleeve too. And afterwards, I'm also going to be using a bias tape to finish off the hem of this dress. This is the end result of this gown. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification. You are also free to share any of my content with your friends and any community, any sewing community that you belong to. Thank you so much guys for watching, and until my next video guys, make sure you have a lovely day. Goodbye.